Good morning, everyone. I wanted to share with you today something that I taught yesterday at a local scrapbook store, and we had a really good time. I enjoyed it so much being with the ladies, and we're going to continue. We got the front and back covers done, and we're going to continue with our good time next week. So this is the front cover, and on it I used some DecoArt texture crackle and some DecoArt Fiero, and these are really fun mediums to use. They come in a tub and like this, and they're very affordable, and they give you just some outstanding, stunning effects. I used one of Tracy Morrow's stencils here with a gold texture Fiero for some texture. This is Tim Holtz birdcage die, and we embossed it with black and with some gold and with some vintage photo, and added some rhinestone brads and made it very special. And this is also on sticky back canvas. So these are some things that you don't maybe normally use, but can be very effective in your scrapbooking or in making mini albums. And so I just put the Tim Holtz Craft Resist. Here, let me get rid of that's my card. Anyway, the Craft Resist with a bird to go along with the bird cage. And then this next page I made by taking my Traditions paint and watering it down, and what I did was I kind of laid it on heavy at the top of the page, and then I just let it drip down. You can see the drips here. And I think while I was doing it, I kind of turned the page around and around so that it would just drip everywhere. And I used some stamps. There's Tim Holtz's Sunburst stamps and a couple others. I used a vintage graphic from the internet, from a free vintage graphic site, and some buttons and twine. Used a little crackle paint. So there's a lot of different things on that page. So this one is Life Unscripted page, and I did a lot of the same thing, dipping the paint and watering it down and letting it drip all around. I used a lot of different stains on here, some oranges and pinks together. And on the Tim Holtz die, the clock die here, I embossed it with antique linen and tattered rose. Now on this page it was a lot of fun, because what I did is I used some spray inks and sprayed a background, and then I took a stamp, a floral outline stamp, Outline is the name of that company, and I stamped it all around. I made a little journal page and put a stamp called My Favorite Day on it. And then what I did was I took some ink from a re-inker, and I just would take the dropper and drop a little puddle, and I took a drinking straw, just a regular drinking straw, and held it up to my mouth and blew the ink around, and that's how you get all those beautiful striations. It was just so much fun to do and so easy. It takes 5 minutes maybe. And then this one has a glassine envelope on it and has a little tag in here, and I used the Tim Holtz Dwellings die on this, and this is one of the pieces from that die. There's some journaling space on the back, and the stamp I used for this is called Creative Life. That's by Stampavy, I believe. I'll make sure of that and make sure that I note where it's from. And so I used that outline stamp again and some more spray inks for a lot of glitter. And then on this page I coordinated it and used these stamps and this Dwellings die again. I used this fabulous background stamp that I got. Again, I'll have to check and see who I got that from, so that if you want to find this stamp and get it for yourself, you can. I used some ribbon trim to decorate the top, and I think this is the word stamp that goes with this set. There are 2 stamps in that set. So this was a lot of fun, and I also used paint dabbers to ink up this background stamp. This is my favorite background stamp of all time. Okay, and then the next one again, I used some spray inks, and I used the Tim Holtz Crackle stamp from the Joyful Song set, and gold paint to make that stamp. And this is a quote that I found. Oh, I know what it was. It was a quote that was in an email in one of my groups, and I wish so badly that I could remember who sent this in. And if you know, please tell me so I can give you proper credit. And I took some really old foam stamps that I got from Michael's probably 15-20 years ago, and stamped these stamps on them. And what I did was I laid down those stamps upside down so that their backing would form an outline, and then I did my spray inks around them, and then I put ink on the actual stamp and stamped it inside there. This one has got another glassine envelope and another tag inside, and there's room for a photo or some journaling if you like. And I'm using some of Tim Holtz Salvage stickers. I think they're from Crowded Attic or Lost and Found, or maybe both, I'm not sure. And this little grape soda guy belongs up here in the bottle cap, but it fell out and got stuck there, and so I can't get it up now, so that's where it is. And here's some of this fabulous film strip ribbon. I love that stuff. Okay, and our last page, we're back again to the oranges. All the way through here we've got some warm and cool colors, so you know, a lot of variety. And I used some stains and some Tattered Rose and Spice Marmalade crackle paint on there. Another stamp. This is from a convention, and I'll try and find out again credits so I can locate those stamps for you. Then on my back cover I have the Craft Resist sewing page, and I have the dress form die and imagination stamp. I used a ruler stamp on the background. This again is sticky back canvas. It gives a lot of texture, and especially on this page it's appropriate because it's fabric. And I cut the dress form out of cardstock, and I used black iron gray graphite Fiero, the Deco Art Textures Fiero. Again, it reminds me of a wrought iron texture and surface, so you can do a lot with that. And then I cut just the dress part out of the sticky back canvas, and I used the Flourish mask on there, and sorry, I just lost my words there for a moment. And I stuck it on top of the cardstock dress form. And then down here with the spool of thread, what I did was, I cut one from cardstock and one from sticky back canvas. I colored the one from the canvas and cut out just the center, and then I embossed the ends of this spool and also the button with black soot embossing powder, distressed black soot embossing powder, and also vintage photo. And then I put those on single and double thicknesses of foam tape. And around the edge here is Deco Art Terracotta. Let's see, got some of that. And that medium. This one is in Santa Fe. This one is in chocolate. And it gives you the texture of a lot like a clay pot. And it's rough and it's interesting, and it just really adds a lot to your page. So, and then what I did was, I put it on 3 rings, and I made some charms for the end for each of the rings, and I used a lot of just fibers you can get in the yarn shop or the yarn section of your favorite store. And then I put a lot of different charms hanging from each. Those are the Tim Holtz Muse charms. This is a little bottle cap that I put a bubble cover over with a steampunk guy on it. This is a cute little bird cage and bird hanging. Let's see. Got some others. I got a lock and a key right there. And then on this one, I've got some of the fragments where I put little tile squares, cardboard tile squares on it. Got this hanging clip chain again. Let me see what else. We've got some of these baubles. Those are interesting. And then, last but not least, along with some beads on a string and a chain tassel, I put a vintage blank that I had embossed with just a script embossing folder. You can use the vintage folders, but you can also use a regular embossing folder. And then I put some vintage stains on it to match some of the pages. So I had a really good time making this book. I had a fabulous time teaching it. We did the front two covers this week. Next week we'll be tackling the inner pages. And the third week we'll be making the charms. So I hope you'll try some of these DecoArt textures. You can contact me if you can't find these in your local stores. You can contact me and I can take care of that for you. But just, have fun. Just use your stuff, use your stash, use what you've collected. Use them in different ways, in ways that you really hadn't thought of. So I'm off to good friend's house for an art club picnic today, and then on to work, and I'll see you guys soon. Oh, before I leave you, I want to show you what else I've been working on. And you probably won't be able to see this entire oh, sticker keeps coming off. This entire work, but it is about a 16 by 8 canvas collage, and I used some tissue paper and some stickers and some stamps, some crackle accents, some charms. I just had a ball doing this, and I'm going to submit this one for publication, so wish me luck. Have a good week.